you always want to build with the end in mind, even if we are long-term holders of real estate.
I'm Collin Hart.
And I'm Blake Bratcher. And together we'll break down the strategies and structures behind what it takes to make a successful ambulatory surgery center.
If you're serious about healthcare, you won't want to miss this. In part 3, we'll discuss why it's important to plan your exit strategy even during the construction phase. So Blake, I know that you and Flagship tend to own properties perpetually. So why is it important to think about an exit strategy in one of your development projects?
Great question. You always want to build with the end in mind. Even if we are long-term holders of real estate, sometimes we build for physicians for a fee, and they own the property. And they might have different investment horizons than we do. So you want to build the property with an exit in mind, that meaning the lease plays an important role in that. Also, alignment between the tenant entity and the real estate entity.
And if I can talk about the tenant and real estate entities, we always see these projects start out where there's common or perfectly aligned ownership between the practice or surgery center entity and the real estate entity. But what we experience is that over time, maybe some of the doctors retire, they're still an owner in the real estate, but they're no longer an owner in the operation. And that can create misalignment, which I'm sure you've experienced, right?
Absolutely.
And so as long as people are mindful, or as long as your clients or physicians are mindful of, hey, over time misalignment will occur, and they've planned with the proper mechanisms, let's say in their operating agreement or in their cost structure for the operation or cost structure for the real estate entity, then I think those misalignment issues can be solved around. But what I hear you saying is you need to be mindful of that stuff up front. Is that right?
Absolutely. So Collin, you've advised a lot of physicians who have ownership in surgery centers. What makes a surgery center the most valuable in the market?
Sure. So thinking about the exit strategy, obviously we need to have a rent that's in line with fair market value, which we've talked about. We need to have a good lease, which we'll detail in another video. But also one of the biggest factors is operational performance. And so obviously that's not exactly something you can plan for. We talked about the business plan earlier on. But the operational performance and frankly, the longevity and profitability of your operation is one of the things that is the most critical in terms of long-term value of the ASC real estate.
I would agree with that. And additionally, I think it's important for physicians who are owning a surgery center that are selling to expect questions about the operation, because you're as much buying as you're buying the real estate, but you're buying based upon the strength of those operating within.